Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my 2023 BookTube Prize Quarterfinals TBR announcement. So the BookTube Prize was created by Robert and Barter Hordes. The intention was to bring together members of the literary bookdernet to judge the best in literary fiction or nonfiction that was published in the US the year prior to this one. So this year we are judging 2022 releases. And I've been an official judge since 2020, and I've really loved taking part in this for, expanding my mind and reading books I never would have gotten to, and for meeting new booktubers and, sharing with each other how we feel about different books. That being said, during the actual judging rounds, we're supposed to keep mum because we're each on ballots with several other judges, and we're just trying to, be unbiased about everything. And at the end of each round, Robert sort of tallies up all of our votes and averages out what's going to happen next. So the whole point of each round, which lasts 2 months apiece, is to have the playing field. So we each get a ballot of 6 books, and we rank them 1 to 6 on which of the 6 we want to move to the next round and which we want to be eliminated from the prize. So right now we are at the beginning of the quarterfinals, which is the second of our 4 rounds before the winners will be announced in October. And I am judging nonfiction Group A. So I thought I would quickly show you a montage of the 6 covers of the books I have to read this round, and then I will give some quick, really preliminary thoughts about what I think of the books. I haven't started reading any of them, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm really happy to have some science books on my ballot because I also judged for the octafinals, and I didn't have any science books. I mean, I judged nonfiction for the octafinals, and I didn't have any science-related books, so nice to be diversifying my reading yet again. There's 2 science books on here, and one of them, Breathless, is one that I actually voted for back in January to join the official long list for the BookTube Prize. I don't know, maybe it's a bit crazy. It's a COVID book. Not everybody wants to read about COVID, but feeling it's a prescient modern subject, and it's going to be in our lives, I think, for a while, and it's a very new pandemic or viral disease anyway, so probably good to learn something about it. The second science book is Eating to Extinction, which I believe is about another pandemic of sorts. It's about the fact that there is food scarcity. We are eating to extinction, I assume. It's apparent in the title what the book is about. That's one of those nonfiction things a lot of the times. So it's probably going to be a bit harrowing, too, about, the types of changes we'd have to make to be sustainable. I think Secret City, The Hidden History of Gay Washington is actually the largest book on my ballot this time, which I wasn't expecting just, off the cuff, but then I did a little research, and, it always makes me a little nervous thinking about having to cram in the bigger books, but, I handled a 1,000-page book last round, so I think I should be okay. And I'm definitely very intrigued about this. I work in the DC area, so it's great to learn more of that history, I think, particularly with a group that, was maligned and persecuted to a degree, and how they were able to, keep their own. I'm also curious about Sandy Hook, which is a history of the Sandy Hook mass shooting, because it makes me think of how I've been part of the BookTube Prize for a while, and I actually read another Sandy Hook book for the prize a couple of years ago. I feel like it wasn't one of my favorites, so I'm hoping I'll like this one better, but it's, kind of intriguing how, I guess some themes will repeat, like in the last quarter, I read a biography of a romantic poet, which is not the first time I've read a biography of a romantic poet for the BookTube Prize. So Things are repeating here. Speaking of which, Solito, I think it's the only memoir on my ballot, and it's a memoir of a poet. And indeed, last round I read another memoir dealing with poetry to a certain degree. I actually did not like that book that much. It's no longer in the running, but hoping for better things with this book. You know, I like poets can often put together some beautiful language in their writing, so hopefully that's what happens here. And then, yeah, finally we have The Facemaker, which is about World War II surgery. And I feel like, in a way, this is, I don't know, I don't want to say the most exciting, and I certainly don't want to bring in too much bias into anything here, but, you know, it's this really specific history about a specific part of World War I, and I thought that's pretty exciting, especially since I read 2 books having to do with the Holocaust and World War II last round, so moving into a different war now is also intriguing. But yeah, just that very specific take, I think it's going to be really interesting, because another thing I talked about with my 1,000-page history of World War II is it was fascinating to learn all of that, but, you know, I feel like I understand things more in piecemeal, like history more piecemeal, and this is definitely a very piecemeal part of history, I assume, very specific. I guess I will find out. So that about covers it for me now. I will leave the Goodreads links for all 6 of these books listed down below if you'd like to learn more about them. And yeah, officially I'm zipping my lips now. I'm keeping mum. I will not be sharing any of my thoughts about these books until the end of the quarterfinals and when the next round is announced at the beginning of June, and then I can finally, you know, share my rankings and everything like I just did in my last video for the octafinals, which I will also link down below. But yeah, hoping for a really enticing and exciting 2 months of reading ahead. And I'll also, of course, link to the BookTube prize for more information if you're curious about that, their page. But of course, I am also hoping to read other things beyond the BookTube prize coming up, and in that vein, I hope to be back on this channel very imminently to do a quarterly BookTube spin video. The BookTube spin is a TBR game that Rick McDonnell brought to BookTube, and I don't believe he's currently making content, so I kind of, you know, yoinked it from him because I'd been having a lot of fun with this particular game. The point is for people to make a list of 20 books that they might want to read, usually divided up into 4 categories, and then, you know, somebody spins a digital wheel, and you have to read the book that the wheel lands on, numerically. So yeah, I add in a couple of twists and turns to make mine a little more interesting, I guess. It's not too complicated a TBR game, certainly not like a bunch of TBR games out there, but I enjoy it as a way to, you know, fit an extra book onto my TBR in a quarter. So stay tuned, and if you'd like to play, I should have the video up within a couple of days. And yeah, in the meantime, I hope all of my fellow BookTube prize judges are enjoying their foray into the next round if you're taking part this round, and gearing up for a happy weekend. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.